Want to thank anybody else who watched. I think the atmosphere today was amazing. It was electric, respectful.
Fans were in genuine shock on Saturday night when Filipinos effectively shut down the atmosphere of Centre Court, celebrating one of the biggest upsets Wimbledon has seen in a decade.
So I want to thank everyone who's been cheering me on and everyone who was there today and everyone who's been part of my journey. Thank you.
Red, yellow, and blue flags rippled across Henman Hill. A hand-painted sign near the entrance read, "Do it for the Kare Kare." And inside the most conservative stadium in tennis, a 21-year-old from Quezon City named Alex Eala was 3 points from ending the reign of the defending champion Iga Świątek. She was ranked number 32 in the world. Świątek was number 3. The scoreboard would not just tell the story. It would rewrite what a Filipino athlete is allowed to do on this stage. But to understand how a girl who once trained after school in ruffled socks and light-up shoes ended up dismantling a 6-time Grand Slam champion on the most sacred lawn in the sport, you have to rewind exactly 27 days. Does she become the first Southeast Asian woman in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal? Or does the weight of an entire nation's expectation finally catch her? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. 27 days before Centre Court, Eala rallied from a set down to win the Birmingham Grass Court title, her second WTA 125 trophy of the year. Days later in Berlin, she beat world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina in back-to-back matches on the same surface. By the time she stepped onto Wimbledon's outside courts, she was already 3-0 against top 10 opponents on grass in 2026, which meant Świątek was not walking into a lottery ticket. She was walking into the third act of a story everyone in the locker room had already started to fear. Before the tournament even began, Świątek was asked about Eala in her pre-championships press conference. Her answer, reported by Tennis Head, was 7 syllables of trouble. Well, I don't particularly know her game on grass. Obviously, I can watch a little bit. The defending Wimbledon champion had, at that point, already lost to Eala once. That was Miami, 2025, 6-2, 7-5, a Masters 1000 quarterfinal, and Świątek was standing at a Wimbledon podium admitting she had not sat down and studied the tape. Meanwhile, the crowd Eala was bringing to the grounds was unlike anything the All England club had ever hosted. For her round 2 match on court 12, Filipino fans queued from before dawn. 2 of them were photographed carrying an oversized Philippine flag straight through Wimbledon's manicured entrance, according to Reuters. When Eala won, she leaned into the microphone and thanked them in Tagalog.
Maraming salamat mga kababayan. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Oh, thank you very, very much. By the time she walked onto Centre Court on Saturday, she was not playing for herself. She was playing in front of a mobile embassy. The first set alone lasted 84 minutes. 8-4, not a full match, a single set. Eala saved 2 set points. She held 4 of her own, and when she finally broke Świątek's spirit in a 20-point tiebreak, it was 11-9. On her 4th try, when Świątek shanked a forehand long, the WTA logged the numbers cleanly. 5 of 7 breakpoints converted, 8 of 11 breakpoints saved, 24 winners against just 21 unforced errors. Świątek had 32 winners and 44 errors. That is not a fluke. That is a dismantling. Put yourself inside Świątek's head for a second. You are the queen of clay. You are the reigning Wimbledon champion. You have won 6 Grand Slams, and a girl who entered this tournament with a career Grand Slam main draw record of 1-5 is outthinking you on your own court. The second set became a formality, 6-2, and somewhere in the middle of it came the frame that will live on every Filipino tennis fan's phone forever. Eala, slipping on the grass, going down, and while she was still on the ground, sticking her racket out and keeping the rally alive. She did not win that point. She won the next one, and the one after that. Match point came on her 3rd attempt. She struck her 24th winner of the day, a forehand, and dropped her racket. Then she cried on live television. And what came out of her mouth in that on-court interview is why this story is not just a tennis story. It is why fans who have never watched a full match in their lives are now telling you Alex Eala is theirs. I'm really emotional, she said, maybe. For someone like Iga, who's won so many slams, or maybe for someone like Serena or Venus, this achievement may seem small, but for someone who grew up in the Philippines, I went to train with my brother and my grandfather every day after school. With my ruffled socks and light-up shoes and chubby cheeks, to her, this is everything. She closed with a line aimed at her own reflection in the mirror. But because I'm emotional does not mean I'm satisfied. So next round, let's go. Anyone who has been following this channel for the last 12 months called this. You said the Miami win over Świątek was not a one-off. You said the ranking would catch up. On Saturday, the ranking did not just catch up, it got embarrassed by the moment. Across TikTok, X, and Instagram, the dominant fan reaction, echoed even by Wimbledon's own official social account, was a single line. Why am I crying over her speech like I'm Filipino? A country that boxing and basketball built made the whole tennis world feel adopted. The endorsement that hit hardest did not come from a commentator, it came from a woman who has stood on Centre Court's champions balcony 5 separate times. Venus Williams, 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, 5-time Wimbledon winner, and Eala's own doubles partner from earlier this season, reportedly took to social media to congratulate Eala for making history, according to BBC News. That is not a distant compliment. That is a Wimbledon champion validating a player she has literally shared a court with. And then, from a completely different corner of the sports universe, came Manny Pacquiao, 8-division world boxing champion, arguably the most globally recognizable Filipino athlete in history. His Instagram video was short, "Proud na proud, very, very proud. Keep it up." When a Wimbledon legend and a boxing icon reach for the same player in the same week, the sport is telling you what the rankings have not yet. Alex Eala is not knocking on the door of the elite anymore. She has been let in. The scoreboard consequences alone are seismic. Świątek is projected to fall out of the WTA top 5 for the first time in years. She is defending 2,000 points and did not survive the third round to protect them. In her post-match press conference, she said, "Honestly, I don't care anymore about the results." That quote will follow her all the way to Cincinnati in August, where she has to defend another title she suddenly does not sound ready to defend. The consequences for Eala are bigger than a scoreline. Southeast Asia, a region of over 600 million people, has never produced a Grand Slam quarterfinalist in the Open era. Never, not one. Eala is one match away from that milestone. Her next opponent is Jasmine Paolini, the 2024 Wimbledon finalist, the number 13 seed. Eala has already beaten her once this year, 6-1, 7-6 in Dubai in February. The Philippines hosted its first ever WTA event just 6 months ago in January 2026, and the sport there is being rebuilt in real time around one player. Nike has her in a visor. Broadcasters back home cleared primetime slots on July 4th to carry the match live. The U.S. Open, where she won junior gold in 2022, is next on the calendar. The tennis map is being redrawn, and the person redrawing it is 21 years old. None of this was inevitable. 6 months ago at the Australian Open in January, the pressure of her own fandom actually broke her. Thousands of Filipinos flooded Melbourne Park just to watch her practice, forming lines several hundred yards long outside Court 6. The BBC reported that the moment got on top of her. She exited earlier than her seating suggested. On Saturday, sitting in front of the microphone with her Nike visor still on her head, the one embroidered in Tagalog with "Kapag lumago, hindi nahihinto," which translates to "Once it grows, it cannot be stopped." She addressed that exact pressure head-on. "Me, my team, and my family are the ones who have been putting in the hours," she said. "We're the ones who are here at the courts 12 hours in a row. We're the ones who wake up early, who come back home late. I think that work ethic is really what keeps me grounded." From breaking under the weight of expectation in January to breaking Świątek's serve on Centre Court in July, that is 5 months. Ruffled socks, light-up shoes, a visor in a language Wimbledon's. Own commentators could not read. A defending champion who admitted she had not done her homework. A crowd that queued from before dawn and made a stadium built in 1922 sound like Manila. 3 years ago, Iga Swiatek handed Alex Eala her graduation diploma at the Rafa Nadal Academy and told the students to be tenacious. On Saturday, the student wrote the final paragraph of that speech herself, with a straight-set win on Centre Court. Alex Eala did not just beat the defending champion of Wimbledon, she proved that a country tennis has never taken seriously can walk into its most exclusive stadium and take the atmosphere, the scoreboard, and the story home in a single afternoon. Now here is your call, and Alex Eala plays Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16, the 2024 Wimbledon finalist she has already beaten this year. Does she become the first Southeast Asian woman in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal? Or does the weight of an entire nation's expectation finally catch her? Drop your prediction in the comments right now, score included, and pin the comment if you want to be able to say you called it before anyone else did. If you have been in these comments since the Miami video, since Berlin, since Birmingham, you already know the pattern. Subscribe and stake your claim before Monday's match. Because whatever happens against Paolini, you are going to want it on record that you were watching this story before the rest of the tennis world learned how to pronounce her name.